The Last Flame of Kaelith. Before the world learned to measure time in years, before borders hardened into certainty, there was a valley called Ashfell. It was a quiet place now. Too quiet, some said. The kind of quiet that lingered like a held breath. Stone houses crouched low against the earth, roofs darkened by old soot that never quite washed away. Bells hung at every gate, every watchtower, every temple door. They were not decorations. They were warnings, inherited from a time when the sky had teeth. The elders claimed the bells were tradition. The children knew better. Beyond the valley rose a ring of mountains, jagged and uneven, as if the land itself had once tried to flee. Their peaks were blackened, scorched in a way no storm or lightning could explain. Snow never stayed long there. Birds curved their flight away from the highest slope, and clouds thinned as they passed overhead. At the center stood Mount Kael. No songs named it, no maps marked it clearly, and no one climbed it, because even when the wind was still, the mountain listened. The Rule of Fear. Elian learned the rules early. Do not wander at dusk. Do not follow smoke into the hills. Do not speak of dragons unless spoken to. Most of all, never look up during a storm. He followed the rules well enough to survive, but not well enough to forget them. Elian was thin, sharp-eyed, and slow to speak, the kind of boy who noticed patterns others dismissed. He saw how the ground warmed near old stone paths. He noticed how elders fell silent when thunder echoed from the wrong direction. He counted how many bells rang when the rain came hard. One too many. His mother said fear kept people alive. Elian suspected it also kept them blind. On the evening everything changed. The rain arrived without warning. Not violent, not loud, just steady, persistent, tapping against roofs like patient fingers. The bells rang. As people rushed indoors, Elian saw something he had never seen before. Smoke. Not from a chimney, not from a hearth. It rose thin and pale from the forbidden slope of Mount Kael, drifting upward as though uncertain whether it belonged to the sky. Curiosity tightened in his chest. By the time the village doors were barred and the lanterns dimmed, Elian had already made his choice. He followed the smoke. The mountain path. The path upward was older than the village, stones worn smooth by time, not feet. The rain soaked his cloak, but the ground beneath him was warm, pulsing faintly like a living thing. As Elian climbed, the air thickened. Every sound felt swallowed, even his breath. Trees leaned inward, roots gripping rock as though afraid the mountain might pull away from them. Then he heard it. Breathing. Slow. Deep. Fast. Elian froze, every lesson screaming inside him to run. Instead, he stepped forward. The cavern opened suddenly, its ceiling lost in shadow. A soft blue light glimmered along the walls, reflecting off scales the size of shields. The dragon lay coiled at the center. Its body was immense, yet bound, Stone chains etched with glowing runes wrapped around its limbs fused directly into the mountain. Its wings were folded tightly, torn in places, scarred not by battle, but by time. Its eyes opened. They were ancient and unbearably tired. "So," the dragon said, voice low and resonant, "fear finally found courage." Elian swallowed hard. "I wasn't sent." The dragon studied him. "Then why are you here, little human?" "Because you're breathing, and monsters don't usually sound like they're trying not to." For a long moment, only rain answered. Then the dragon laughed, quiet and broken. "My name," it said, "is Kaelith." What dragons were? Elian returned the next day, and the next. Fear did not leave him, but it changed shape. It became something heavier, more thoughtful. Kaelith never threatened him, never lunged, never breathed fire. Because Kaelith could not. Long ago, he explained, dragons were not rulers, they were keepers. They watched the balance of the world the way shepherds watched flocks, intervening only when something threatened to consume everything else. Fire was their tool, not their identity. "Fire warms," Kaelith said once. "Fire reveals. Fire ends what cannot be healed." Humans learned only one of those truths. They begged dragons to burn enemies, cities, entire histories. Some dragons obeyed. Kaelith refused. So humans sang. They carved runes into stone and taught the mountain itself to remember hatred. The spell did not kill him. That would have been mercy. It stole his flame. "Without fire," Kaelith said, "a dragon does not die. He forgets." Elian brought stories, bread. Music hummed under his breath. He talked about the village, about how people feared a monster who had been chained for generations. Kaelith listened. Slowly, he remembered. The sky answers. Seasons shifted. Snow brushed the mountain, briefly, then retreated. The smoke grew stronger. Far beyond Ashfell, something ancient stirred. A dragon who had embraced hunger felt the echo of stolen flame. It followed the pull instinctively, wings tearing clouds as it crossed the sky. Storms gathered where it passed. Crops failed. Bells rang in distant valleys. Ashfell's bells rang longest of all. The sky darkened unnaturally. Wind screamed down the slopes. "This is because of me," Kaelith said, chains tightening as the mountain responded to approaching magic. A flame denied always calls to ruin. Elian stepped closer than ever before. His hands trembled, but he did not pull them back. "Then take it back." Kaelith's eyes softened. "I can't. Not alone." Elian pressed his palm against a scale. It was warmer now, not hot, alive. "Then remember why you refused." The breaking. The invading dragon arrived with a roar that split the clouds. Its fire was red and violent, scorching the sky itself. Panic swept the valley. Bells rang until ropes snapped. Kaelith closed his eyes. He remembered the first sunrise he ever guarded. He remembered choosing mercy when obedience would have been easier. He remembered that power without restraint was not strength, it was collapse. The mountain cracked. Runes shattered, stone chains melted. Blue flame bloomed from Kaelith's chest, controlled and brilliant, lighting the cavern like dawn. Kaelith rose. His wings unfurled, and the sky made room. The clash above Ashfell was brief but terrible. Fire met flame. Hunger met purpose. The invading dragon fled, wounded not by force alone, but by something it had long forgotten: choice. What the valley learned. Kaelith circled Ashfell once, twice. He did not burn. He did not roar. He guarded. The ground cooled. The smoke faded. The bells fell silent. In time, children climbed Mount Kael without fear. Elders rewrote their stories. The mountain no longer listened for hatred. Kaelith did not stay. But sometimes, on clear nights, a blue glow crosses the sky, and those who see it no longer tremble. They remember.